Hey guys, my name is Mike Carleo, and this is my second installment of my Arpeggios series. And today, I'm going to be speaking about the Minor Triad Arpeggios. Now, just like my first installment, I'm going to be speaking about the root, the third, and the fifth, all across the fretboard, using the 7 fingerings, but the only difference is we're going to flat the third of the arpeggio to make it minor. Now, not every key is going to be in a major key, so it's important for us to learn the correct fingerings and the correct notes as we solo in any minor progression. So, just like before, I'm going to go over the 7 fingerings, 3 in the root, 2 in the third, and 2 in the fifth. So, let's get started. So let's get started with the first fingering of our root. And we're going to be playing in the key of A minor. So we're going to take our 4th finger and put it on the 5th fret of the big E string. So we're going to strike with our 4th finger down. Then the next string, C on the A string, which is our 3rd fret. And then we're going to move to the D string on the 2nd fret. And then we're going to roll and flatten out the 1st finger again, just like we did on our first installment, for our A on the 2nd fret of the G. And then pick the same string on the 5th fret, which is our C. Then we're going to flatten out the pinky for our E on the B string, 5th fret. And then flatten it out even more on our A on the little E string. So that is the first fingering. So just like this. And now backwards. Okay, so that's the first fingering. Now the second fingering is we're going to start with our 2nd finger on A on the big E string. And this one's going to be a little bit of a higher phrasing. So we're going to utilize 2nd finger on the 5th fret, A, then the next string, 1st finger on the 3rd fret, which is our C, then we're going to reach up to the 7th fret for our E, then we're going to flatten out the 4th finger, 7th fret of the D string, and then we're going to utilize our 2nd finger on the 5th fret of the G string, which is our C, roll half, 5th fret for our E, and then little E string, even flat for our A. Backwards, our E, our C, D string 7th fret for our A, then roll back up for our pinky on the 7th fret for our E. We're going to reach down to 3, 1st finger, and then we're going to hit the 2nd finger on the A. Okay? So now the 3rd fingering. Oh, sorry. Let's do it in real time for the 2nd fingering. Now we have a lot of rolling in this 2nd fingering. So we have the rolling with our pinky, and then the 3 strings, like we've done in the past with our major triads with our 2nd finger. So that one has a lot of rolling. Now let's move to the 3rd fingering. Okay, so our 1st finger now is going to start on the 5th fret. So you see how we progressively get higher with the voicings. So our 1st finger on A, then the same string on the 8th fret for the C, 3rd finger for the E on the 7th fret of the A, then we're going to roll flat for the A on the D string, then our 1st finger on the 5th fret for our C, flatten it out for the E, and then again more flat or flatter for the A, and then reach up for that C again with our 4th finger. Backwards, flat for the A, then the E, then the C, then the A, whoops, flat for the A, then roll back up for the E, then the C on the big E, and back to the A. So you have those are all 3 fingerings for the root. Okay, so let's get started with the 3rd, which is our C instead of C sharp, so our flattened 3rd C, starting on the 8th fret of the big E string. So we're going to strike down with our 2nd finger, and then we're going to strike E on the 7th fret of the A string. Then we're going to roll flat our A, and then we're going to pick on the 10th fret with our 4th finger on the D string, then our 3rd finger on the 9th fret of the G string, pinky on the 10th fret of the the B string, and then the second finger on the little E string on the 8th fret for our C. Back down to A, then E, then C, same string A, flat, then roll up to E, and then to C again. So now we have okay. Now one thing to notice is when we first start learning our open chords, just like our D minor chord, you can start really seeing that when we do the arpeggios, because that is the minor triad for the top 3 strings. So when you're doing this, you can start seeing your triads, and when I do my triad installment in a later video, you're going to see how the arpeggios can really help shape those and make us understand them better. Okay, so now let's get to the second fingering of the 3rd. And now your first finger is going to start on the 8th fret on C. Then we're going to reach up to the 12th fret for our E. Then we're going to roll flat for our A. We use our second finger on C on the 10th fret of the D string. First finger on E on the G string. Second finger on 10 on the B string. Then our first finger is going to be on 8th fret for your C. Then we're going to reach up for 12 for the E. Backwards. Our C. Our A. First finger on E. Second finger on C. Flat pinky for our A. Whoops. Roll up for our E. And back down to your C on the 8th fret. So now here is the arpeggio, the second fingering. Okay, so those are the 2 fingerings for the 3rd. Okay, so now let's move to the 5th, or E, and we're going to be starting on the 12th fret. So you're going to take your second finger and put it on the 12th fret for our E on the big E string. We're going to roll flat our second finger for A on the D string. Then we're going to reach down with our first finger on 10 for our C. We're going to reach up to 14 for our E on the D string. We're going to roll flat on the 14th fret for the G string, which is our A. Third finger is going to hit the 13th fret on C. And then our second finger is going to hit the first string on the 12th fret for our E. Now backwards. Third finger on C. Flat pinky on 14 for our A. And then our 14th fret again for our E. Reach down, same string, 10th fret for the C. Then flat for our A. And then our E rolled up on the 12th fret. So here is the first fingering in its entirety. Okay, and now let's move to the second fingering for the 5th, which is going to start with our first finger on the 12th fret. So arched first finger, then roll flat again for the A, then reach up for our C on the 15th fret, next string 14th fret for our E, roll flat for our A again, second finger on the 13th fret for our C, first finger on the 12th fret of the first string, and then reach up for the 17th fret, which is the A. So we like to grab that extra note. Back down, our E, our C, flat finger for our A, roll up for our E, our C on the 15th fret, then our A, flat, and then roll back up for our E. Okay? So now, here is the second fingering in its entirety. Okay, and those are the 2 fingerings for the 5th. So learning the minor triad arpeggios is very important for us when we're soloing over a minor blues or any type of minor progression. Now all 7 fingerings allows us to become a horizontal player and horizontal soloer. Now this is very important for us. So when the solo progresses, you can either progress up the fretboard or down the fretboard. So these different fingerings allows us to do that. And also to note is that these 7 fingerings can be played in any key. So that's a beautiful thing about guitar. The 7 fingerings work in any type of key you want to play in, not just A minor like I showed you. So once you have the 7 fingerings down, start practicing them in other keys, because you're obviously going to be playing in different types of minor keys as well. So if you want to get to learn about me more, you can check me out at my website below, michaelcarleo.com, my Facebook page, facebook.com/michaelcarleo, NJNY, so throw a like on that. If you want to see more videos, follow me on Instagram. And also, for Twitter, follow me on Twitter. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.